So here we're given this function f of xy, which is definitely not defined at 0, 0. And we would like to use the two-path method in order to show that the limit of this function as xy approaches 0, 0 doesn't exist. Now, the two-path method consists in finding two different paths approaching the point 0, 0 along two different paths that give us pretty much different limits. I like to think of paths as trajectories of vector valued functions. We can use many different ways of writing out the solution of this problem, but I think my favorite one is to use a vector valued function. So let me tell you what I mean here. So I will take f and I will plug in t comma 0. So I'm thinking of the path t comma 0, which if you try to visualize it, you would realize that we're approaching the point 0, 0 along the x-axis as t approaches 0. So how much do we find? F of t comma 0 is t times 0 to the 4th over t squared plus 0 to the 8th, which is really 0, right? I mean, it's 0 over t squared, which is 0. And this approaches 0 as t tends to 0. So along this path, we found 0. Now we need another path, and here you have seen examples like this before. You want to somehow match the exponents so that you get a nice cancellation. So what you need to do is take this path that has t to the 4th on the first component, t on the second component. It's a rational curve. It's like the graph of a polynomial seen with the x-axis as the axis of the dependent variable and the y-axis as the axis of the independent variable. So to make a long story short, it looks like this. And if we approach along this path, what do we get? We get t to the 4th times t to the 4th over t to the 4th squared plus t to the 8th. And this simplifies very nicely. So this t to the 8th on the top, and it's 2 times t to the 8th on the bottom, which is equal to 1/2, which again approaches 1/2 as t tends to 0. And this means that the limit doesn't exist by the two-path method. When you say by the two-path method, you really summarize the fact that, or imply the fact that you have tried to approach the point along two different paths that give you different outputs, different limiting behaviors. And that's it.